Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. I've got a right pair of beauties to show you this morning, and I don't mean that, you dirty gets. We'll be talking about Paul Pogba as well, but look at this beauty we've just got for the new studio. I hope you checked the video out last night. Why am I showing you that? I'm not showing you that to gloat. We will be giving away one of those very, very shortly in the next few weeks, so keep tuning in for that. But as you can see, I'm also wearing Bruno, the Bruno t-shirt, which you can get. The link is in the video description for that. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, we do it in black and blue as well. We get the nice little emblem in the middle with the tridents. Lovely stuff. But let's get into the latest Manchester United news. And Paul Pogba will be sold by Manchester United. This is the latest one. So this is interesting because obviously I was told a few weeks ago, we've done a few videos on this now, that Man United would like to keep Paul Pogba. But this story today is that Manchester United want to sell Paul Pogba. They want to move on. They feel that they've built something without him, and that, you know, whether it's fair or not, he sort of disrupts what they're trying to build. They don't need Pogba anymore. They'd be willing to lower the price to £100 million to let him to go to Juventus or Real Madrid. Now, this is coming from The Sun, but as I've always said, it's coming from Neil Custis in The Sun. Now, whatever you think about The Sun, I don't like The Sun, but Neil Custis, you've got to, you know, sometimes you don't like something, but it doesn't mean it's not credible. And Neil Custis over the years has come out with information first about Manchester United that's been accurate. So he is saying that Paul Pogba will leave Manchester United. Manchester United want him out. He wants to go. There'll be no offer of a new contract, and that United would be willing to take £100 million to get rid of him. It's interesting. I suppose that'll be music to some people's ears. It will, some people will be unhappy with that. Also, I think that when you look at it, that people like myself, I'm just like, it doesn't fit in with what I pretty much know the club want. I think the club want to keep Paul Pogba. But what I would say to this is there's probably three scenarios here. One, this isn't true, which could be a scenario. But having said it, the source of it is quite good. Two, it is true because Manchester United have changed their stance because Pogba is unwilling to stay. Or three, he will sign a new contract and stay. Now, remember the information we were talking about 2 weeks ago, and I've had this information 3 times now about Pogba. Last summer, he's definitely not going to be sold. In December, January, he won't be sold. And they're not looking to sell him this coming summer. But that was a couple of weeks ago, and that was before this wider pandemic. So United's stance a couple of weeks ago, as I said in the video, was, look, they know Pogba wants to go. 2 weeks ago, he wants to go. They think they can change his mind. And that was about getting him back fit, which he is now, getting him playing with this United side and getting him staying. He can't play with this side. So we don't know what the football landscape's going to be, but a scenario could be that Manchester United do not play a game before the transfer window opens in May, and then Pogba's like, I'm off. So United may be accepting the fact that they can't get him back playing football to convince him to stay, and that might be where this story is going. Some would say, sod all that anyway. We've moved on. We've got McTominay. Matic can still do a job for another year. We've got Bruno. We've got Fred. We want Grealish. Let's move Pogba on. Let's take the money and use it to get Sancho. Which, to be honest, I would throw that to you and see what you want to say about that. The Grealish thing is interesting. Obviously, I'm based in the Midlands, so you do hear things about Grealish. United definitely moving towards Grealish away from Maddison. I think at the start of the season, we were looking at Maddison. It's definitely Grealish now. Grealish definitely wants to come to United, as does Maddison, to be fair. I think Maddison's probably priced himself out because of what Leicester got for Harry Maguire, which we spoke about last week. But Grealish wants this move. United would like Grealish, but I don't think United go for Grealish if Pogba stays. And that is the situation at the moment. And the main reason for that is that if Pogba stays, you've got Pogba, you've got Bruno, you've got Fred, you've got McTominay, and you've got Matic. And you've still got Pereira, who may not be easy to shift in the summer. So you've got 6 midfielders. And all right, the quality of those 6 midfielders were questionable at the start of the season, but McTominay and Fred have improved massively. We know the potential of Pogba, or the ability of Pogba, and Bruno's been fantastic, and Matic has stepped up to the plate. So it's only really Pereira. And if you look at most Premier League top 4 clubs, they do have 6 midfielders. You know, some better than others, but United do have their 6 at the moment if Pogba stays, so that could be a problem. And I would say to you, do you want Pogba to stay, or do you want Grealish to come in? And on paper, Pogba's the better player, but in circumstance and what United are building, maybe Grealish is the better player. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on that one. But yeah, so the latest is that Pogba will be going now. And look, we're going to get these sort of stories. I think you've got to look at where the credibility is. I mean, is Paul Pogba sat there going, I want to leave Manchester United today? He may want to leave, but I think the football landscape is so uncertain at the moment. It's very difficult to say, and we should be getting a Premier League announcement today about what they're looking to do. Nothing. I don't think there'll be anything definitive. I'd be surprised if it was like we're looking to cancel it or we're looking to be back playing in April, but there is a meeting today, so watch out for that. Of course, we saw Pogba in the Juventus shirt yesterday. What was your thoughts about that? He's training. Talking of which, I'll be releasing a video on @MarkGoldbridge on Twitter and @GoldbridgeMark on Instagram of me trying the toilet roll challenge a little bit later. I've just got to get some bloody toilet roll. But yeah, so Pogba was in the Juventus shirt yesterday because Matuidi's got the virus, supporting his mate. I think it's as simple as that. But of course, as he said in his message, for those people hating on me wearing it, this is the reason I'm supporting a friend. I think you leave it there. It's a French international teammate. But Pogba obviously knows by wearing that, because he's had to justify it in his message. And as soon as you wear it, you are going to create a noise. And I think Pogba's just decided, well, it's more important for me to support my mate. Maybe wear the French shirt, as somebody said. Maybe get a French Matuidi shirt. Maybe he doesn't have a French Matuidi shirt because they don't swap shirts when they're playing for the same club. It might simply be United played Juventus last year and he swapped shirts with Matuidi. So it's very explanatory. It definitely is very explanatory, but it will just add fire to those who want him out anyway, which, look, we've got to open up to the fact that some people do want him out. But let's see what happens with Pogba. Personally, for me, it was always about him playing till the end of the season and then we sell him. He may not get to play before that, but I personally would sell him. I think it's best for him. I think it's best for United at the end of the day. Thanks anyway for watching. Please smash a like. I've not finished yet. Skriniar is an interesting one. Remember yesterday we were talking about a potential centre-back coming to Manchester United and looking at what sort of centre-back that could be. Skriniar at Inter Milan is quite an interesting one, and he's one that we've spoken about for a few years now. But interestingly with the Skriniar, he is a player that is that mentioned Bruno Fernandes. They played together at Sampdoria. And he said that Bruno's one of the best players he's played with. And I'm just wondering, is that a subliminal message that I would like to come to Manchester United in the summer? Skriniar. We've got good connections with Inter Milan. I mean, Lukaku, Sanchez, Ashley Young. There has been some deals done there. Inter maybe looking at Chris Smalling from Roma. I mean, I know he's still our player. So, you never know. You never know with that. And I'd certainly take Skriniar as a centre-back. I mean, I'm not convinced we need a centre-back, but I'm a big fan of Skriniar. I mean, look, if you can get a Skriniar or a Koulibaly, I think we're all going to do it, aren't we? So, yeah, interesting to see how that one develops. I spoke to you about Grealish. Also, what else? A little bit about Timo Werner. Basically, the RB Leipzig coming out and saying that they're not being kept awake at night by the fact that Timo Werner could leave. They do have alternatives in mind, and Timo Werner we did a video last week, didn't we, about Timo Werner potentially flirting with the Manchester United move, very much so. So that could definitely happen. We'll have to just wait and see. But I'd still put Liverpool as favourites for Werner, but how big could this United summer be? I suppose it depends how big this crisis is going to be. I mean, can you envisage? I seem to be the only one. Well, we seem to be the only people who spoke about this very early, and I'm surprised the mainstream media haven't picked up on it yet. Slow sports news, isn't it? They call themselves blue ticks, but they don't actually look in any depth. It's just not. But we were speaking about this immediately when this football ban came in, about the impact it could have on the transfer window. And I've not read anybody talking about this yet, even though we were speaking about it last week. And I do think that if you are a Real Madrid or a Manchester United or a Manchester City, are you going to go and spend £250 million this summer? Because the value of that £250 million could be... You could way overpay because of the crisis. We're hearing about lower league clubs in England going to the wall, making redundancies. So it's conceivable that there will be clubs, if they get relegated, or in some of the less affluent leagues, will, maybe they were looking to sell some. Maybe Lille were looking to sell Babakari Samari for 40 million, but suddenly, because of the loss of revenue, they might be selling him for 20 million. So. You've got to be very careful about how you're going to spend your money in the summer. And maybe what we're talking about there, United willing to take £100 million for Pogba. Maybe that's not a price cut. Maybe that's a price reevaluation in relation to what the market's going to be. And if Jadon Sancho was £100 million a month ago, maybe he's £70 million now. So we need to keep an eye on that as well. Look, thanks everyone for watching. Smash the like on the video. We will be back later. I've got a very interesting video going up on the Mark Goldbridge channel after a horrible day yesterday. Horrible day yesterday, just broadband, crap customer service, and that's why we had to put up the studio video, which was a bit of a pilot, but it was just to show you what the studio is all about. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and if you haven't seen the new studio, check out the video that we put up last, me, Flex and Rants in studio. Smash a like, I'll speak to you all soon. Get below with your comments about Pogba and everything else we've discussed. And remember, you can get your Bruno t-shirts. You've been able to get your Bruno t-shirts for a long time, but I've just had mine through, so I thought I'd model it for you. I've also got a black one as well. You can get it in blue and green and everything like that. Links in the video description. Get yourself a Bruno t-shirt. Thanks for watching.